I listened to a lot of the wrong people, right? I had a really dodgy business coach. If you're going to work with a business coach, make sure you talk to their other clients and find out, how they work first.
Yes.
But, I was listening to, the person that sold the TV commercial. Oh yeah, you need this and you need that. Like I paid $5,000 to animate some pigs to go on my commercial. Like everyone's, oh yeah, it'll do better if you do this and it'll do better if you do that. And I remember like when they were building my website, I ended up getting a whole new logo designed because the first original designer had done a terrible job. And he's like, I can build you a website, but your branding's awful and you're not going to sell anything. So there were so many places where I just kind of spent money unnecessarily. But just like bootstrap the things that you can, I had like a fancy desk and chair and things like that. Now I'm like been sitting on this chair for over 10 years, but I'm like, I can't get rid of it. I spent so much money on it. It's bright green, which was one of the branding colors. It was pink and green, the business.
Oh, that's funny.
So anything that you can, start small, bootstrap it, make sure there's a market for it first. So actually, which is hard with the discount card because you kind of need to get the businesses to give the discounts before you know if anyone's going to buy it. But
a bit of a chicken and egg style business.
Yeah, it really was hard. And also like I put myself through marketing afterwards, but then every time I learned something in the marketing course, I was like, oh, a target market, that would have been handy. Yeah. Knowing who I was talking to, that would have been amazing. I also kind of changed the business model a few times. So it started off that people paid to be on the card, and then the card, and then I was charging for the card because I wanted to use it as a fundraiser for things. And then I ended up making it free for businesses to try and get more businesses. So you kind of, I think I was trying to double dip at the beginning where I was like, no, I need to make money from one side of it. But then a lot of businesses were like skeptical because they were like, well, how come you're not charging for it? This can't be very good. Or like, where do you make your money? And I used to say, well, one day lots of people will buy the card and then I'll make the money. One day.
That's the dream. That's the dream.
So just really working out and getting people around, I should have found somebody who was really good with marketing and business planning at the beginning. And I did go through, I did through the NICE program, which is really great if you're starting out and you haven't heard of that. It's like a government funded program. You can do some business stuff, but there was the sit down and go into the classroom, or you could do it, away. And I was like, no, I'm just gung-ho. I've already started. I don't need to stop and plan anything. I'm just going to keep going and I'll just do this course on the side. And thinking back, they did try and get me to be more realistic with my financial projections and things like that. I'm like, no, I'm going to sell so many. I was just so confident. I don't know why. So really sitting down and planning things out and kind of planning for the worst case scenario, not the best, I guess, and working up from there, but really getting the support from people. Most businesses these days have been done before.
Yes.
So there's no need to reinvent the wheel. There are so many things that you can do that haven't got a big barrier to entry. E-commerce, you can just go on, start selling on Etsy, or creating your own website on Shopify isn't that hard these days. So there are so many ways that you can start a business in a weekend if you want to. So you don't need to be spending big dollars to start up or to advertise, or social media is such a fantastic tool because you can, even now that it's not as easy as it used to be, you can create and find a community of people who love what you're doing without any money. You do need to invest that time. And like we were saying, content. But, especially if you're making something and you can share the process and share the story behind it, there's lots of ways that you can get out there without spending on TV commercials and radio and all the things that I was doing back then.